A German U-boat captain's dying confession in 1982 revealed coordinates to a treasure worth $12 billion in today's money. The problem? He wasn't the only Nazi officer who took secrets to his grave. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about the end of World War II. Because while everyone celebrates Allied victory, a shadow operation was already underway. One that moved an impossible amount of stolen wealth across 3 continents. Some of it funded escape routes for war criminals. Some of it built entire cities in South America. And some of it, it's still out there, waiting to be found. This is the story of the greatest treasure hunt in human history, and why billionaire investors are still spending millions searching for Nazi gold 80 years later. As Allied forces closed in on Berlin, the Third Reich embarked on one final desperate mission. Operation Bernhard wasn't just about counterfeit currency. It was about hiding the greatest treasure hoard in modern history. Today, we're diving deep into the shadowy world of Nazi gold, following the paper trails, excavation sites, and secret banking networks that reveal where billions in stolen wealth vanished. By the end of this video, you'll understand why treasure hunters are still searching remote locations across 3 continents, and why some of this gold may never be found. The scale of the theft. To understand the magnitude of what we're dealing with, we need to go back to 1933. When Hitler rose to power, Germany's gold reserves stood at a modest 1,300 tons. But by 1945, as the Reich crumbled, Nazi forces had systematically looted an estimated 91 tons of gold. The Nazis didn't just steal gold bars. They melted down wedding rings torn from deportees' fingers, dental gold extracted from concentration camp victims, and priceless artifacts stolen from Jewish families across Europe. The Reichsbank became a macabre sorting house where human suffering was transformed into monetary value. SS Oberfuhrer August Frank oversaw this grotesque operation, converting personal treasures into standardized gold ingots. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. The 91 tons figure comes from Swiss banking records, specifically from banks that laundered Nazi gold throughout the war. However, historians estimate that only 40% of stolen Nazi wealth ever made it into official documentation. This means we're potentially looking at over 200 tons of missing gold, worth approximately $12 billion in today's currency. The Merkers' discovery. On March 22, 1945, the U.S. 90th Infantry Division made a discovery that would reshape our understanding of Nazi wealth storage. Deep within the Kaiserroda salt mine in Merkers, Germany, soldiers found what appeared to be the entire German gold reserve. Stacked floor to ceiling were 8,198 gold bars, 55 boxes of crated gold bullion, and hundreds of bags containing gold coins, currency, and precious stones. But here's what makes this discovery truly significant. This wasn't random wartime looting. The Merkers' cache was strategically organized, with detailed inventories and systematic storage protocols. Each gold bar bore markings indicating its origin, some from the German Reichsbank, others clearly stamped with the central bank codes of occupied nations. This suggested a coordinated effort to relocate Germany's entire monetary system. General Dwight Eisenhower himself descended into those mine shafts, and his reaction was telling. Rather than celebration, his reports expressed concern about what they hadn't found. The Merkers' cache represented approximately 270 tons of gold, yet intelligence reports suggested the Nazis had access to significantly more. The problem challenge. The Merkers' discovery created more questions than answers. If this was Germany's central gold repository, where was the rest? Allied intelligence had intercepted communications about multiple treasure transports heading toward the Austrian Alps, the Bavarian countryside, and even across the Atlantic to South America. The challenge facing Allied forces was unprecedented. How do you track billions in portable wealth across a continent in chaos? The timing created additional complications. As the war ended, Nazi officials had months to execute contingency plans. SS Obergruppenführer Hans Kammler, who oversaw many of Hitler's secret projects, had reportedly established multiple cache sites. The Swiss connection. While Allied forces searched German territories, the real story was unfolding in Swiss banks. Between 1939 and 1945, Switzerland's gold reserves mysteriously increased by 1,040 tons, a 300% jump that couldn't be explained by domestic mining or legitimate international trade. The Swiss National Bank was purchasing gold directly from the German Reichsbank, asking few questions about its origin. A Swiss banker working with Nazi officials later testified that German representatives often arrived with gold that still bore the stamp marks of other European central banks. Belgium, Netherlands, France, all had their national gold reserves systematically transferred to Swiss vaults through complex shell transactions. The Swiss banking system wasn't just hiding Nazi gold, it was actively laundering stolen national treasures. Recent declassified documents reveal that Union Bank of Switzerland alone processed over $280 million in N. The South American Trail. By 1943, U-boat traffic between Germany and Argentina had reached unprecedented levels. Official German records show submarine cargo manifests listing industrial equipment and scientific instruments. But Allied intelligence suspected something far more valuable. The infamous U-boat U-977, which surrendered to Argentine authorities 2 months after Germany's surrender, was found to have compartments specifically modified for high-value cargo transport. In 2017, Argentine federal police uncovered the largest collection of Nazi artifacts ever discovered in South America. 75 objects, including golden Nazi eagle sculptures, ceremonial daggers, and boxes designed for gold transport. The discovery wasn't random. It resulted from a decades-long investigation into Nazi gold smuggling networks. Police Chief Nestor Roncaglia stated that there are no precedents for a find like this. Pieces are stolen or are imitations, but this is original. The Vatican Ratlines. Perhaps the most controversial chapter involves the Vatican's role in post-war Nazi asset movement. The so-called Ratlines, escape routes for Nazi officials, were coordinated through Catholic Church networks, but they also facilitated wealth transfer. Cardinal Antonio Caggiano and Bishop Alois Hudal orchestrated not just personnel evacuations, but also financial relocations. Vatican bank records from this period remain partially classified. But leaked documents suggest the church processed significant gold transfers from German sources. The justification was ostensibly humanitarian, funding refugee assistance programs, but the ultimate destination of these funds remains unclear. Some historians estimate that up to $200 million in Nazi gold may have passed through Vatican accounts. The breakthrough came in 1996, not from treasure hunters or government investigators, but from an unexpected source: insurance claim research. The World Jewish Congress had been investigating unpaid Holocaust-era insurance policies when they discovered something extraordinary in Swiss banking records. A forensic audit revealed that Swiss banks had processed 1,200 tons of Nazi gold, nearly 90% more than previously acknowledged. This discovery forced a complete reassessment of Nazi wealth movement. The gold wasn't just hidden, it had been systematically integrated into the global financial system. Swiss banks had melted down distinctive Nazi gold bars, recast them with Swiss markings, and sold them as legitimate bullion to central banks worldwide. The modern hunt continues today. Treasure hunters continue searching for Nazi gold caches across Europe and South America. The famous Nazi gold train in Poland has attracted international attention, though despite numerous searches since 1945, including by the Polish army during the Cold War, no evidence of the train, its tracks, or treasure have ever been found. Yet the searches continue, driven by diary entries, deathbed confessions, and mysterious maps. In 2020, a diary belonging to an SS officer surfaced in Poland, containing detailed maps of treasure burial sites beneath royal palaces. Ground-penetrating radar has identified anomalies consistent with buried metal objects, but excavation permits remain tied up in legal proceedings. Each potential site represents millions in possible recovered wealth and years of legal battles over ownership rights. The technology has evolved dramatically. The fate of Nazi gold reveals a disturbing truth about how stolen wealth can vanish into legitimate financial systems. Of the estimated 91 tons processed through Swiss banks, only 3.6 tons were ever returned to rightful owners or their descendants. The remainder became part of global gold reserves, sold to central banks and private investors who had no knowledge of its bloody origin. Treasure hunters continue searching remote locations because the mathematics don't add up. Known Nazi gold discoveries account for only a fraction of documented thefts. Somewhere in Austrian mountain caves, Argentine estancias, or Swiss safety deposit boxes, billions in stolen wealth remain hidden. Every declassified document, every deathbed confession, every mysterious map represents another piece of the puzzle. The story of Nazi gold isn't just about treasure hunting. It's about justice delayed and accountability avoided. If this story of hidden Nazi gold shocked you, make sure to smash that like button and let me know in the comments which theory you think is most likely. Are billions still buried in Austrian caves, sitting in secret Swiss accounts, or funding operations we don't even know about yet? Subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're diving deep into history's greatest mysteries. And trust me, this rabbit hole goes way deeper than you think. Share this video with anyone who loves treasure hunting or World War II history. They need to see this evidence. What did you